Are we recording?
We are recording live, baby. And Pete's got his shirt off, so that's your signal to know that we're really ready to go.
Yeah, is that like you have to be eliminated to take your shirt off, or can anybody do that?
I
Anyway,
think
welcome back, folks, to episode 2. Fantasy Pals, your favorite fantasy pals, the best fantasy pals all around the world. This week we are sponsored by Drumroll. It's called Drumroll.
Drumroll.
Odell Brewing Co. They're a local joint out here in Dorado, and we're happy to have them as a sponsor.
Top notch brew right there. It was a good call.
Yeah, it is delicious. But what a first week we had. Maybe the most intense week we've ever had in our long but storied history. And none other than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Peter Vance.
I don't accept. I don't think I lost. I don't think I lost. And I will be bringing evidence to the body at B. I don't think it was right. I don't think it was fair. I've been going over the stats pretty aggressively. And I just don't think it's true. So I don't think I lost. I think I'm still in the league, but I'll go through the podcast. I'll go through the motions, whatever. But, Skylar Thompson had a check down pass. I was watching. The stats were not updated. That was like a 6-7 yard pass. It didn't update on the app. I'm definitely going to be looking at making sure that those add up, which I don't think they do. No one had a team better than me, especially not Mark, piece of shit. And also on that, Josh Jacobs had a challenged call that was reversed, given back to him, ball position, yardage position, 2 yards on the challenge. I don't think that challenge made it into the stats. So I actually feel like I'm sitting pretty. And to be honest, I can't be out because that's some weak old white crusted dog shit, and I don't accept it. It's not okay. I'm out because the team I drafted for, I knew the Bills were going to be great. I banked on the Bills, and they're too good. That's why I'm out. I'm a victim of my own genius and my own success. It's fucked. I'm out because Cook is so weak that he goes in for one final play, basically sits down backwards, calls himself out on the sub. I'm done, coach. That was first down after the half. No, I'm pretty. My tailbone hurts a little bit. Fucking do your fucking job, brother. For me.
Also, I mean, for someone who said they went all in on the Bills,
I'm not done yet.
I'm just saying you did bench one of the Bills who would have given you a victory.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
The thing is though, I'm gonna go out, and there's people left in this league that we don't even fucking like. There's people that I didn't want to join this league. I think all of us didn't want them to join the league. We let them in for their money. They're not contributing to the conversation. They barely watch the podcast. You know who you are. And I'm not leaving while they're still in here. That's fucking injustice. I'm out because the Jags played so badly. The Bills could have put in a special needs kid whose dream was to score a touchdown in a real NFL game. Anybody on that field could have scored a touchdown. Okay, Petey. Buffalo had an easier time scoring on the Jags than Diddy had at one of his parties. It was an absolute joke. And I'm not okay with that. I could stay in. There's a way I could stay in, I think. I could make a team on the side or something. I was thinking I could join as like a consultant to someone week by week. I think that there's a way we can make this work that I could do it. And I think that you guys should talk about it, you should review it, but I think that I could give up my fab. I could give you guys my fab, split it up to make something work. Because honestly, it just fucking sucks.
I believe this is stage 3 bargaining.
I'm not a bargain.
Denial certainly in there too.
It's brutal. This is my only league. It's so fucking sad to be out. I literally am now no longer playing fantasy football. in 2024.
You have one more league though, or one more year, and then we'll be right back in it.
That is so hard to think about. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do on the toilet on Thursday morning? Just sit there like a fucking idiot and read the shampoo bottle like before I had fantasy? Why should I even watch football anymore? I'm not. What am I going to watch a 4-hour football game with? You see how many flags are in this game going on right now? It's the most boring game in the world, and there's no reason to watch it if you're not. It's insane. And honestly, I needed to win this league this year. Finances have not been good. I just had a baby, and I was really kind of banking on this. This was an investment. You know, the fees were an investment in the wife's budget, and she's not going to be happy. I haven't broken the news to her yet. But
actually, Pete, I didn't even realize.
Tough,
I didn't even realize you benched 2 Bills players, and either of them would have helped you win. This is shocking.
Yeah. Well,
on that, what do you say, Pete, about was it a little bit of panic decisions going into starting Samaje Perine?
Which Boozy quote unquote said was a great call, but
that was halfway through the game. He had 5 points in the first quarter and then didn't go in after.
I know. This is honestly I was at that point. It's like, what are you gonna do? They hadn't been showing up. I didn't think the Jags were gonna sit down and do nothing. Samaje looked like I was kind of rolling the dice on maybe he scores a touchdown. And honestly, he had a great first half, but I should have trusted my gut and not gotten involved in the Chiefs passing game. The Chiefs, I don't know how they're winning. They're the worst fucking team in the NFL. They're an absolute shit show. They're just running around somehow making it work.
They're 3 plays away from being 0-3.
Yeah, no consistency. No, they're not
Isaiah likely toe tap in the corner, which he was out by an inch. Next game, pass interference call on the offense, put them in field goal position. Number 3 should have been a pass interference call on Kyle Pitts in the back of the end zone for Atlanta to win that game. But that was no call. Dude, he was motorboating Kyle Pitts 2 seconds before the ball got.
Anyway, so I mean, that's how I already had the running back that I think that I was hoping he was going to have a good game. I needed him to have a good game. That I think that I was going to happen to have, 3 Bills players that all scored touchdowns. Of course, every player on the Bills and most of their fans could have scored that night. It was kind of a joke. So,
yeah.
What are you going to do? I think I'm okay with it. It's the way of the league. Just like unprotected sex with a stranger, it's fun because it's scary. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know when you're going to come or when you're going to go.
We've
arrived to that point, Peter. I'd like to remind you that you are a consultant in some way. You are our sexual consultant. And for that, you'll have your position all year long. No one's taking that from you.
Yeah.
And that position is the 68.
No, I think that that's what I was thinking, Booze. I will embrace this new position. And in some ways, it's a better position upgrade. I was at the bottom of the league, not looking good, bunch of injuries with a shitty team, which that happened because some fucking Kenyan sprinter made it at the Olympics who never should have been there. That guy was dog shit too. Really started from everything. They had no business being helpful this year. But I'm now the first member of the most exclusive and fastest growing club in fantasy football.
That's true.
And I will bravely lead the lost and broken men of this fantasy league into their future. I'm waiting with a warm hug, a cold beer, to commiserate, to encourage, to talk you through your pain, because you're all coming. You're all coming to me.
Already am.
You're all coming to me. Coming with me,
coming on
me, coming next to me.
All right, that was a great rant, Pete.
Yeah, I think we only
wrap up the pod
for that in only by 12 minutes. I think it was we had allotted 5 minutes, so we're only 16 minutes too long there. But
where are you at? How long have you been running?
Let's just land this plane.
I will not have my anxiety and pain diminished. That was a brutal game to watch. Looked so good, and slowly not seeing anything happen.
When did he score the final points? Was it the third quarter or was it fourth quarter?
Yeah,
Third quarter.
Third quarter.
In the third quarter.
Yeah.
To be like half a point away, basically at halftime, because he scored in the first half, right? From the first
Yeah.
period, right?
It was 2 points at halftime. He needed two
He had
more
2
points.
points at halftime. He got
And he
1
already
point
had
in the
15.
game.
7.
Yeah, that's tough.
I
Ugh.
think this was the closest score in the elimination. There was another game last year where a player was tackled at the 1 and there was a 3-team shift because of the quarterback, the receiver. That was the Monday night game we were all together for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the same 1 yard outcome, but the final score being a 0.2 difference was just devastating.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was my week for a while until my Lord and Savior Kyron Williams stepped the fuck up.
Really? Oh
But
my
I
God.
was like, I had like 44 points with 2 players left to play. It was a pretty scary time.
You were projected. Yeah, you were projected at like 64 and no one else was below 85 or something. It was not looking good.
Yeah. But that's the way of the world. One thing I do want to note is that if I get eliminated and say Josh gets eliminated and then say the following week Luke gets eliminated and all 4 of us are eliminated, I think we're just canceling the league and taking the
I
money.
think that's a good call.
I agree.
Yeah.
So that's actually
no reason for us to
bylaws.
continue on there.
If you made it this far into the pod, you get to have that information. If not, check the subtext.
But despite the absolutely brutal matchup to watch last weekend, somehow the outcome is what it was. Pete, devastated for you primarily. The fact that it's your only league, truly, truly tough. Mark, I know he was absolutely shitting bricks just like you throughout. I was getting a lot of texts saying my time has come, but I do know that he's in like 6 other leagues. That's not true, probably like 3 other leagues. So but his dedication stays strong because I probably should not have been surprised, but was a little surprised to see that he spent, I mean, was it all
everything? He has $1 left.
Really? He maxed bet on James Cook?
I mean, strong move.
He did James
Cook
Cook and then Jordan Love, which as the Malik Willis owner was a very, very smart call.
Yeah. So to grab Cook for $320, that was, I did not see the price getting that high.
I mean, think about what Cook gave him. He deserves every ounce of Merck's fab.
Yeah, that's
Cook,
true.
with a second Cook subbed himself out of that game, he was going to be on Merck's roster. It was destined.
That is fair. He owes his life to him. The least he could have done is bet 320 fab. Do we have a record of what the most fab ever spent on a single player is? Because I think that's pushing it.
I think it might be
close.
Travis Kelce went for a lot last year. Was that you, Boozy? He was on 300 plus, and he didn't do anything the rest of the season.
I don't think anyone has hit 400. I don't think anyone else was 400 plus. So definitely.
I will check the record books. I'm not sure anyone broke 300 last year.
No, there were some. I think there was at least 1 or 2, but it was minimal.
We'll check and add it into post.
We'll have to check this out. But
Merck had basically no quarterbacks or running backs, so you kind of have to,
Yeah, I respect the move, but so James Cook goes for 320. Amon-Ra St. Brown goes for 312 too, none other than
Rose Pierre, who has a solid team. I mean,
very interesting.
Aggressive move.
He's scared.
Move. I don't hate it, but I am surprised at the price tag. I
forgot to mention this, but did anyone realize that it was literally a head-to-head against Rose Pierre that booted me?
Oh,
why?
Interesting. That was his head-to-head matchup.
He guillotined.
The Eliminator strikes again.
Wow.
Wait, no, hold on.
Robespierre with his first guillotine of the year.
Well, that means Bishop Don Juan's going to get eliminated. Early prediction.
I should have known.
Robespierre's going to guillotine.
You should have known it. How did none of us catch on to that? Because he actually called. I thought he was calling a shot with Boozy early on, and Boozy looked like a strong call for most of the day. But then he bait and switched us at the very last minute to take out.
Well,
eating the Pink Pony Club.
Robespierre does have a personal vendetta. because after he came after me last year, it was I who eliminated him in the end in a head-to-head.
That's right. It was head-to-head, wasn't it?
And,
That's the tip.
am I nervous that he might chop the head off, guillotine your boy? A little bit. But
Like a Jewish doctor.
I like my guys. I like my guys.
I mean, imagine if he he will be the true Robespierre executioner if he ends Don Magic Juan's journey with Saquon, Marvin Harrison Jr., Nico.
Yeah, that seems.
But
just-
those
that
are
would
kind of that's like a playoff potential rematch game. Those two
That's
teams.
intense. Yeah, they're studs.
Sure is.
Is it me or did every team like get significantly better this week? And I don't know how.
It does
Yeah.
seem that way.
So let's just break down. Let's finish our waiver wire breakdown here. So James Cook goes to Merck Wilson, who is now left to cook lamb in the car. Maximilian Robespierre takes Amon-Ra. And then Merck comes back to get Jordan Love again. And wow, that's a lot of lamb in the car. I just put it all together. It's a 4-player name right there. And then Bishop Don Magic Juan got Josh Jacobs. That was the close one where 78, second bid was 75. The Hunt Man, you got outbid a couple times, very close one. I was up there. I bid 68, thought I had a chance at getting Josh Jacobs, did not apparently. The Hunt Man does get Zay Flowers for 65. And then I snagged Dalton Kincaid for 61. And had I known that Run for the Hills could have been bought for $30, I clearly would have overbid for Dalton Kincaid. I would feel like there was one of those guys was going to be a value. I didn't realize that I overbid, and damn, Kyle Pitts for $30. Had I not gotten Dalton Kincaid, I would have paid 60 for Kyle Pitts and got someone for 30 to Run for the Hills.
Who got Kyle
Well,
Pitts?
lucky you, because Kyle Pitts is trash, and you got
Run for the
Kincaid.
Hills. I think Pitts is gonna have. I think Pitts has got a lot of good signs. A lot of good signs for growth. Cousins is starting to click a little bit better, but Cousins is going to get better. And
if you compliment Run for the Hills one more time, I'm coming over there and hurting you on your
I'm not
birthday.
complimenting him. I'm just thinking that Kyle Pitts was a good call. I didn't realize that only 2 people bid. You bid $6 in Kyle Pitts. That was the second highest bid.
Me?
So
Yeah, and I
bid. Somebody
No.
got Kyle Pitts for $7. Wow. I mean, damn.
yeah, I bid $6 and it was $5 too much.
Luke, can you give us the runners up to both Amon-Ra and
Cook?
Yeah, James Cook.
So second highest bid for James Cook was Too Legit to Quit at 256. So yeah, it wasn't too close, but that again was a pretty high second bid. Third place, Josh at 213. Not even close, but good job giving it a swing. And
Thanks.
then,
I mean, he just said runner up, but yeah, keep rubbing in it. I mean, there's like 6 people below me, but yeah, thanks for rubbing me out there.
And then second place for Amon-Ra. So second highest bid was Maho Oh No, Don't Touch Me There. I can forget how it read, but I really like it.
How much did Mahomes?
I'm so glad that Mahomes got back to his home Don't Touch Me There. It really made for a good storyline this year. But 265 for Amon-Ra, second bid there. And once again, Josh coming in third, 221. I mean, a lot of misses there, Josh, but we were all there somewhere.
I don't mind. I felt good about those values. I'm not overspending on them. Let's not get crazy, boys.
And then Jordan Love, I was second place bid there versus 99, and the winning bid was 171. So yeah, a lot of money being spent. A lot of money being
spent. Well, last year,
a lot of fear.
There's a lot of money going home in people's pockets.
Yeah,
and I think that's a fear.
Yeah.
You got 500 left over.
Speaking of money, I think we have time for one more segment before our elimination picks. So everybody get ready for your picks. But in the meantime, Pete, early segue I was thinking about. I think the solution to your problems, both financially and for finding what to do with your time, is just betting on daily fantasy more often,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
probably providing your picks out to the rest of the crowd. If I'm not mistaken, you have hit a first touchdown scorer 4 weeks in a row. Is that correct?
That's true. I'm 5 for 6.
Wow.
Damn.
Did you bet tonight?
No, I was in the middle of something else. And I forgot to put one in before the game started.
I always put one in before the game starts.
Yeah. Always.
Well, what do you think I was busy with?
My chest hurts.
Oh, golly.
Speaking of betting, does anyone think I'm currently got a 3 for 4 on a parlay? All I need is Ezekiel Elliott to hit 25 rushing yards. He's currently
What's he at?
5.
4?
He's got
Oh, that's tough.
Is he playing? What is
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott?
He's
why
not
are they
good.
keeping it so close? I thought that it was going to be a bit more lopsided, and he might get.
I think he. Oh, that's tough. I mean, he could get there, but
Can he even run 15
I
yards?
hit the CD Lamb touchdown. I hit Devin Singletary on receiving yards. I need Zeke to get a touchdown.
is it your 3 out of 4 one though, where you're at least going to get some payoff?
Yeah, I'm 3 out of 4, so I'm gonna get some payoff.
Dude, you know what's even worse on the topic of betting? I specifically put in a bet to emotionally hedge. I put in a bet to parlay for Dalton to score, for that random receiver Coleman to score. Hasn't done shit all season. And then I was like, I just wanted to boost the odds a little bit to get enough for a Andrew Jackson at the massage parlor. And I threw in ETN to score, who was like, ETN was like minus 130 or something to score, like individually. And Dalton and Coleman score. It was like $1 bet for like $75 or something.
That was insane.
And the Jags couldn't do shit. I literally had like over, and then there was another one also with ETN. I had like $100 riding on ETN scoring a touchdown. Fuck
The Jags are bad this year. And speaking of bad, that's a great segue into our final segment of the night. Who is going to join the elite ranks of, what was your name? Pink Pony Boy. Which is funny because I think
a League of Eliminated Gentlemen
is a song about trans girls. So is Pink Pony Boy an allusion to a trans boy? That gets confusing.
Thanks, Biden.
What are all the kids saying these days? There's too many. He, she, they, them. All right.
Stay out of it.
Brutal, absolutely brutal.
All right, who's up first?
I kicked us off last week. Feels like I probably shouldn't this week, but
You can kick us off. I can do it. Oh, also, did we mention on the pod? It is our fearsome commissioner, creator, and champion's birthday today. So, will you join me in singing "Happy"?
oh God, please don't.
All right, with my pick.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Recap of last week. Last week I picked Brock's Purdy Dirty Cock and missed there. So excellent work. But Josh and Pete both picked Wilson Jr. Crazy irony there is that if he had played either any of the Willis or Wilsons, would have been scot-free, but because he benched all the Willises and Wilsons and changed his name prior to the week, ended up in a very close call. So we almost had 2 correct bets there. Boozy picked Tua legit to quit. We are all 0-1 on picks so far this year.
That is totally fair because I think I put in like 4 alternate picks, but I will say in Merck's defense, I said that if Joe Mixon doesn't play and he plays Cam Akers, it might just be enough to give him the win. And I put PD on watch, but I think I put some others on watch, so I won't take credit there. But
yeah, you gotta make one pick. That's what they call a pick, Josh. Is when you pick.
Yeah, big time hedger. I'm Mr. Hedgeman. They call me Mr. Hedgeman for a reason.
No, they call you Mr. Edgeman.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
All right, 0-1,
Anybody?
but I am about to be 1-1. I consider myself a student of history, and it's said that if you do not study history, history is bound to repeat itself. In this past week, I've been looking into our wonderful NATO allies, the people
Mm,
of France.
mm.
And in their history, I discovered a very interesting man, Maximilien Robespierre, who one member of this league has chosen as his namesake. The interesting thing about Robespierre, not only did he invent the guillotine and use it effectively, but he died at a remarkably young age.
Mm.
And how did he die? To his very own creation, the guillotine. And I believe in week 2, Maximilien Robespierre's time has come and he will be guillotined, chopped out this league, and I will have Brees Hall on my team by Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
Shocking pick.
Wow. Coming out the gate strong.
I still haven't picked yet. So, Luke, if you want to,
I don't know how to follow that. I mean, that is a strong first pick, a very strong first pick.
It's
I'm
bold, sure.
I'm going a different direction here. I'm too nervous to call upon the jinx of the guillotine quite so early in the season, but I do think there are several members. There should be a handful of us who are nervous, and like myself last week, who was slightly nervous going in, got much more nervous in the first early hours of the week. I am predicting a similar fate for none other than a repeat guest or a repeat guest at this point in the year. Already picked once last week. Tua legit to quit. I believe Tua's already quit, and I believe the rest of that roster is about to quit too. It's going to be a rough start in the day, looking at a lot of potential down games. Brock Bowers absolutely due for a regression, as well as many other names on that roster. And by the time it comes to that night game where the Josh Allen, Khalil Shakir stack is going to be the saving grace that you're hoping for, I'm afraid traveling to Baltimore against a tough rival is going to sting a bit, and we're going to have a major crash and burn. And Tua will be on the market this week, along with Mr. Allen and the rest of his friends. That is my pick for the week. Tua legit.
I like that pick, but question is Tua is he are we allowing him to play? Is that
It's
happening?
not healthy.
take him off.
He is too dangerous to keep playing, so obviously should quit.
Can't believe he's doing it.
Nailed it. All right, I'm going to say.
Oh, PD still gets to do this, or
Yeah.
I
He's,
just
advisor Josh.
I didn't know how we wanted to treat him.
Hey Josh, could I talk to you privately about something for a second in the other chat? Not related to that. I think this is an easy pick, and I'm gonna say if my pick's right this week, Josh shouldn't be allowed to pick any more this season for coming at me like that.
Oh, I like that.
I think Mahomes will not
Ooh.
be touched there by Mahomes. I think Mahomes sucks. They're going to have a tough game.
Oh, Mahomes.
He's starting Zeke Elliott, who has 5 yards, can't do shit.
Oh.
And I kind of think that Detroit-Seattle game is going to be competitive. It's going to be close. It's going to be a little defensive, and he's not going to get any points out of that. I just I don't think he's going to break 75 points, and I think he's out.
Wow.
Both Tua and Mahono, I very much have my eyes on, but I'll zig while my boys zag, and I'm going to go with I'm sorry to do this to my San Diego boy, but all sack, no Vance I have on the chopping block. You have the two quarterbacks being Lamar against the Bills defense and Aaron Rodgers against a feisty Denver defense. And I hate Aaron Rodgers. Both are going to underperform.
Has nothing to do with it. Josh's lifelong hatred of Aaron Rodgers.
I really hate Aaron Rodgers a lot. A lot. I don't
It's a good pick.
I don't think Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to recreate his 2-week magic. Jawan Jennings is not going to put up 42 points again. Hopefully. And we'll just have to see. I don't know if Keenan's even going to play. If he does, I don't think he's going to do it. And when I look at this bench, there are really no other fill-ins that could have any positive impact. So I think all Sack, no Vance might just be on the chopping block. I do love James Conner. So we'll see if he can do enough. But at some point, you need more than one person to show up.
You know what's wild is drafting and holding Nick Chubb, who might not be back till week 10.
That's a beginner move.
In an elimination league that starts round 3. I mean, all Sack, no Vance, more like no brains in his pants. It rhymed.
This is definitely his first year in an elimination league.
That was a great. However, he's 6-0 and in third place.
I still think it's a little bit of an upset call because of the 6-0, but this feels like a donkey teeth situation last year where he went 20-4. His best player was DeAndre Swift, who might be the worst running back in football history. So I don't really know, but
yeah,
maybe we have an outlier season from all Sack, no Vance.
He did score 80, almost 90 points between Lamar, Jawan Jennings, and Aaron Rodgers last week, and everybody else was pretty tough. So, yeah, I mean, if those guys come back down to earth a little bit, there's certainly an opportunity for a big dip ahead.
Guys, I had Jawan Jennings in a DFS lineup, and I barely won money. That lineup was so bad. Besides it, I mean, he put up 50 points, and I barely made money. It was embarrassing.
I will say he looked like a beast last weekend. It wasn't like one of those fluke games, where a couple lucky touchdowns. He was just mossing guys up and down the field. So I do ever
we'll see what
that.
happens.
I don't think he's got to repeat. Maybe put up 15.
Yeah, it feels like an unlikely. 41 points is ridiculous. It's not going to happen again, probably all season. But I think is this a Jonas Gray situation where it's a one hit, never happens again? I don't think so. He looks talented, and they need playmakers in San Francisco, and he also has a decent offense to play with. So I picked him up in another league.
Yeah, like we usually talk about, Luke, this is a sacred space where we only talk about Fantasy Pals League. We don't need to bring in other league nonsense that no one else cares about.
All right, let's land this ship.
Let's land this plane. We're only about 20 minutes overdue here. So, yeah, let's get this thing over with. Excellent work, everybody. Love the picks. We'll keep track of them this weekend per usual.
Oh, Zeke, how many yards do you need, Luke? He got 5 more.
There we go. I'm gonna
all right,
chip away.
Got it.
Love you, boys.
Wow.
Happy birthday.